So, Anthony.
Yeah.
No world title fight, but
Yeah.
you've had 12 of them in a row going back 6 years.
Yeah.
Where's your mentality at right now?
In a way, the same as what it was before, in the sense that I feel if you've got a plan to get to the championship, you have to kind of live that from the get-go. So I've always been disciplined and strict. And just because I haven't got the belts now, I haven't really changed too much. I just keep a standard. Boxing's a tough game. And the worst thing you want to do is question yourself in a fight. So I'll just put in the work, really, like I always have.
Is this the new dawn, as it's being called, the launch with DAZN, a new era? Is this Anthony Joshua 3.0?
Not really. I think it's important to promote DAZN and all the media and stuff like that. But, you know, for someone that I feel I'm serious about fighting, I'm good at fighting, and I'm happy I chose this career, it's just another job. It's another assignment. And I don't really put too much pressure on my shoulders, because if I was to call it a new dawn 3.0, that can create anxiety. And sometimes I think it could actually hinder my performance. I think you have the best performance, I wouldn't say when you're having fun, but when you're just in a flow state. You just take it as like, whoever comes, I'm ready for. I don't care what they look like, who they are. I'm just happy to be here and I'm going to do my job.
Does that fall in line with what Eddie Hearn was telling me, that he wants you to be happy at this point in your career? A happy age.
That was after the last fight, when I kind of broke down and I was tearful. I think that's where he was coming from. But if you're talking about now, when you kind of go through that process, if he still means that, I think he probably spent outside of the ring. The pressures that come with being a champion, we've probably seen all the stuff that's gone on with the other two champions at the minute. It comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations. So he's just like, I want you to be happy now. You're kind of relieved of that pressure.
You mentioned that situation that they couldn't make Fury and Usyk, Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk recently. The outside world is bewildered by those kind of things. Now, you've been...
What does bewildered mean?
Just amazed and surprised by the fact that the biggest fights in the world can't get made. It wouldn't happen in any other sport. Why does it happen in boxing?
Well...
Is it greed? Is it egos? Is it money?
No.
What is it?
Well, there's an element... Everyone's different, but I feel like in this situation... when you look at what you've been through to get to where you are, as I said, boxing's a serious game. It's tough. When it comes down to sitting on the table with someone, you're thinking like, I'll be real, you don't even deserve a fraction of what I'm offering you. Like you ain't been through what I've been through to get in this position, and now you're here. You think you're just gonna come and it's about the pie.
You've got your price, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
you've got your price,
but you got your pride
as well.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's money and ego.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, and like everyone's like, oh, I'm a Spartan, I'm a this. Why the Spartans go to war? To conquer land, to feed, to eat, to feast. And this is your time to feast. So I think that has a part to play. I don't think anyone's scared. I think that's crazy. I think fighters are far from scared. But I do feel like there's a lot of like pride on the table. And that pride that one has is needed to be at the top of the fight game. You need to hold yourself in like high regard. But when that spills over into the negotiation table, it obviously hinders potential fight happening, because when you're negotiating, you need to put your ego down and say, okay, cool, like, all right, do you know what? I'll knock off 5% for you. You know, when you're trying to get a little deal, sometimes you've got to put your ego aside and just agree to disagree, and all right, we'll get it done. But when you're a person with pride and you're a fighter, it spills over into every walk of your life, and it's falling into these negotiations now.
Known you a long time, really. From the very start, you know, before the Olympics, when you won the Amateur World Championship silver medal, you were a kind of very tall beanpole of a man, and if I can say that, compared to what you are now. And you know, I remember you came to Twickenham with me and presented a little gymnast. She was tiny. She was about 4'10". You presented her with an award. Yeah. In all of that time, has your ego, with the ego we're now talking about as a fighter, was that really dented in Saudi Arabia last August when we were there with you for talkSPORT? When you grabbed the belts, when you were very emotional, when we spoke to you afterwards, was your ego dented in that moment? Was your kind of your spirituality, even as a man, was it dented in that moment?
Okay, I feel like speaking now was just the fact that as a champion, as you said, someone that is defending the belt or fought for the championship 12 times, unified the division, whoever it was against, all that type of, he should have fought that, this opinion. I'd done what I had to do, and it was hard to kind of feel like I get the respect. Like, people accuse you of not giving me the respect I deserve.
That's not true, though.
No, we're just talking. I mean, I'm not saying that you do, I'm just saying. So
I tell you it is how it is. I want you to be the best you can possibly be.
So from the industry I'm in, I don't really look for credibility from outside sources, people within the industry that you yearn for credibility from. And if I was at championship level, and it's still hard to kind of get that respect from people that you admire in your industry, what happens when I'm not champion? And that's where it felt like everything was slipping away. So that was like a whole heap of frustration. And it was like, forget these belts. If I ain't got them, they ain't worth nothing. Because I'm the one who brings value to these belts. Why? We're in Saudi Arabia because of me. That's like the mindset I had. I built this. I built Road to Undisputed. Now I was one step away. Like in my heart, it was like beat Usyk, then I'm there. And it was just that one step away. And it just, like, if you don't want to watch that emotion, that passion, and what boxing means to me, it came out obviously in the wrong way. If I would have won, you would have seen the utmost roar and celebrations, but you saw the utmost, like the tragic side of what losing looks like, and that was just pure emotion come pouring out. And as I said, like, I had 2 fights, one with the champ, Alexander Usyk, and I had one with my emotions. And it wasn't the right thing to do, but I live and learn. I wouldn't apologize for it because I think that makes me weak, but I can learn from it, and I'll try and do better if it ever happens again.
You will have learned. We've also learned you've had a fantastic camp with Derek James. What are you going to put into practice when that bell rings on Saturday night against Jermaine Franklin?
Flow, rhythm and flow. Once you're in that flow state, your rhythm's there, you put your shots together. As a big person and stuff and quite chiseled, it's not just about power punching, it's about picking your shots and putting them together. And I just want to have fun in there. You know, do it for me, represent my coach well. The good thing is I really feel conditioned enough to do the 12 rounds at a good rate, at a good pace. And I want to thank my team as well. My team that's been with me in training camp that really like pushed me. Cena and Ben stay with me in training camp. Like, they really like worked tirelessly to kind of get all the data and information, punch stats and work rate, all that. And I like the numbers I'm seeing. And it gives me confidence in what I'm going to be doing. Statement
on Saturday night? Statement, Anthony?
I think look, when we look back, I've never made that reference. I'm going to make a statement.
You normally pick the round for me, you know.
Okay.
You've only been wrong once.
Okay, with Jermaine, I think round 10.
Okay.
I think round 10. Yeah. He's a tough old cookie. We
wish you all the best in the performance.
Thank you. My name's anthonyjoshua. Listen to my fight live on talkSPORT against Jermaine Franklin this Saturday on talkSPORT, the home of boxing.